USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show, starring Ian Pelham Turner and Helena Chard.
Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show with me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And with me, Helena Chard.
Okay, let's roll the titles and let's get on with the show.
And as usual, we'll have some royal news, some snippets of royal news, and Ian, you will join me as well. So I think we'll start off with this weekend. It was been a beautiful, well, last weekend, beautiful sunny time. Princess Catherine was joined by Prince George at the Festival of Remembrance, and everyone was out and about. It was a very special weekend, marking the 80th anniversary of World War II. And there was the event at the Royal Albert Hall was absolutely stunning, and it was just wonderful to see Prince George sat there, very patient, taking everything in, watching all the veterans. And I think always for me, the most exciting thing is seeing all the poppies falling down at the end, because obviously each poppy is a person, so it's something really special. So there we go. And the other children weren't there, so Charlotte and Louis, because they are very young, and obviously Prince and Princess of Wales, they're quite careful in introducing them to working environments. So that was good, but lovely as well to see King Charles on Sunday leading the nation at the cenotaph, putting the wreath down. So it was really, really quite beautiful, and I think the amount of poppies and the veterans and just, you know, it's with thanks, isn't it? The veterans that were all talking about, you know, how they lost so many of their pals, and also they're dying out now as well. But it's quite an interesting situation. So a lot of respect to that generation. And today, breaking news is the Prince of Wales has launched something on YouTube, and it's going into schools across the world, really. I think it's to target 9 to 14-year-olds, but it's delivering a special message, basically honouring veterans, talking about how it's important not to forget and how the memories matter, their lives matter, and it also reminds everybody to be respectful, kind, brave and thoughtful. So I think that's a really good thing that Prince William's actually done, because it's, you know, for children to learn, it teaches them empathy, resilience and responsibility, which interestingly ties up, I think, with listening and all the other things we're going to be talking about. What are your thoughts, Ian?
I think, I mean, you know, William's all over the place at the moment, isn't he? Because obviously, I think he's staying in Brazil.
He's back.
Oh, he's back, is he?
Okay, he was laying a wreath.
So, you know, I think, yes, it's always very important to remember all the fallen who really created and helped us to create a safer world. Whatever that means, I'll paraphrase Charles, whatever that means at the moment, because I think the reality is that really veterans are perhaps the forgotten people at times. There was a phrase at one time for the Japanese war that carried on after the war in Germany subsided, and they were called, the British Army is called the Forgotten Army. And I think the thing that is important at the moment, there seems to be so much controversy, so much acrimony, right now, what's really happening across the world, so many more war zones being talked about, that we should remember that people fight wars, and the reality is that now is the time for us to remember our veterans, remember the people that really gave their lives, but also to remember the people who really fought during the Second World War, like my parents, and then who then created a better world for people like myself.
But I also think as well to remember the conflicts of today and the veterans that are serving now.
Yes.
That's really important. So it carries on, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Prince and Princess of Wales, they have moved to Forest Lodge. That's their forever home. Amazingly enough, the builders, they did all the work really super duper quickly, and it came in under budget. Now that is unheard of, I think, for the average Joe. No one ever has that. They never turn up in my books. But no, so it's lovely to see, and people have been talking about Forest Lodge, and it's quite interesting because it's not like Royal Lodge, so it's not grand, and there's something quite informal, quite charming, quite sort of middle class, and it's very, I'd say, William and Catherine, because they're obviously trying to create this look. It's a bit like a doll's house, and it's actually got brickwork as well, so it's not super regal. But anyway, they are really happy there. All the fences have been built around. It is a criminal offence, Ian, so you cannot clamber over those fences.
Well,
I know you can't stop yourself.
Not that I would wish to anyway, but...
So that's good. But the lovely thing as well, that they did treat friends, family and the builders to an evening out at the pub. And I think it's actually on the sort of Windsor estate in a way, just by way of thanks, which is a nice little thing to do, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Closest neighbour is Andrew Mountbatten, Windsor. I struggled then. Is that right? Yes.
Yes.
No longer the Prince. But that's an interesting one. So good luck to them. So they're happy. Christ the Redeemer. Now, we've just had William in Rio de Janeiro, which was wonderful. So it's a wonderful, colossal art deco statue of Jesus Christ. And it was completed in 1931, 98-foot statue, and I think it's become one of the 7 wonders of the world. And it was really great to see Prince William recreating that famous photo that his mother had taken of her, and I think this was when it was when she and Prince Charles at the time in 1991 visited Rio de Janeiro. And everybody loved William. Everyone absolutely adored Princess Diana at the time, and they were comparing William to her. But it's great that he took this picture. This picture's gone all over the world. They're saying that it was to refocus the monarchy after the Andrew scandal, but I think it's a little bit more than that, in that Prince William obviously is pushing his humanitarian side, and obviously it's all to do with Diana's legacy as well. So I think, it's done the trick. And I know that one of the late Diana's friends said that really William is very, very similar to his mum. I think in a sense, I think Harry is as well. deep down. But really great to see, and just everyone was so excited. I hadn't realised, I mean, Brazil is not only absolutely beautiful, I mean, honestly, the views, stunning, but how much they love the royal family. So I found that really exciting, and, you know, they were just so happy, and Prince William in his element. He really has stepped up, very centre stage. So I felt really, really proud. What are your thoughts, Ian?
Yeah, you know, as I say, anything that, quite honestly, at the moment changes the narrative, you know, regarding certain members of the royal family and their peccadillos or whatever's been going on, it's got to be something good in the first place. And I think, as you so rightly say, you know, one of the channels that the show goes out to now, Londres, is South American based, and so and is Brazilian based at that. So I think it's to our Brazilian listeners today as well. You know, thank you for supporting the royal family. Thank you for giving William such a welcome that you have done, and we continue to listen to Brazilians in London at the same time.
Mm. And also just knitting into the Earthshot Prize award, which is a global award, as we know. Prince William was over there. Solution to the world's environmental problems. And I sort of hadn't, I mean, I think maybe I was a bit silly, but I hadn't really thought of it in this way, that it's very much like a Dragon's Den style, which is obviously the programme we have here in the UK. It's a similar kind of competition. Prince William driving optimism about the environment, but it's just how people come together. So 15 people, Rio de Janeiro, promoting their work and their inventions, problems. 5 people out of the 15 picked, and they're given 1 million to roll their product, their thoughts, their dreams out. And it's also something that I hadn't thought about. It's very much, I mean, it's really big time, and it's Prince William is wanting people to know that it's sort of on the same scale as his grandfather's Duke of Edinburgh Award, and also his father's Prince's Trust Award, or the King's Trust Award as it is now. And again, I hadn't really thought about it like that. And I think there's another 5 continents that this is going to continue on over the next 5 years. And I just think, you know, absolute accolade. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So well done to you, Prince William, for forging forward. And finally, I want to talk about Spudman. Now, Spudman recruited Queen Camilla recently. Very sweet. Now, we know him. He's a social media star. His name is Ben Newman, but he's in Tamworth, Staffordshire. He had this idea that he wanted everyone to have hearty, good old, you know, hot potato, absolutely crammed with filling, and he wanted everyone to be full up. So, and he was absolutely amazing value. I think probably no more than £5 for the most enormous potatoes. He has 9 children, and I can well imagine that they all have a hot spud. But
it's got a touch of Oliver about it, hasn't it?
It has. But do you know what? He, on occasion, can serve something like 5,000 hot baked potatoes. He goes to events and things like that. Isn't that incredible? 5,000. I mean, honestly, that was me there all day, just slaving away.
I'm amazed because apparently some days people will queue for 2 hours in the marketplace where he has his stall just to get his potatoes.
I mean, he said it was the most surreal thing ever to have Queen Camilla there, sort of helping make the potatoes. I mean, it was there in his food truck as well, and it was an event at Clarence House, and it was representing the Royal Voluntary Service. And I think Queen Camilla is patron, and also National Association of Care Catering for the Elderly. And he makes a great potato. Obviously, Queen Camilla knows what it's like to get a good picture.
Because when I thought you said a good potato.
Well, she did have a potato. Her favourite filling, tuna mayonnaise. Woman from my own heart, tuna mayonnaise.
Well, tuna mayonnaise.
Tuna mayonnaise, yeah. But so obviously it's those photographs, isn't it? Because once the royal family are taken, you know, her making potatoes in the press, and it highlights charitable work, which is really, really great. And he also, I think the interesting thing about him as well, he works so hard. He always wants everyone to be full and happy. And he is on dialysis treatment. And he's actually continued his work in his truck with a portable machine. I mean, how about that?
What?
I mean, good for him. He says his favourite thing in life is being able to chat to people about his potatoes and just talking to the customers and having a chat. And I thought, what a lovely chap.
Absolutely.
Well, that's a lovely one to end.
Well, there we go.
So thank you very much. That's a touch of royal
There we
until
go.
next week.
And Spudman, we could easily receive one of those in the post.
Absolutely. His social media is phenomenal.
Yes.
Really, really good.
I know. Okay. Anyway, thank you for that, because as always, some very relevant and some great royal news. We're now just going to take a short break, and then we'll be back with two incredible guests. Stay tuned.
And we are thrilled to have the Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, President, Founder and Chief Listening Officer of USA Global TV and Radio, and also Dr. Madalene Chan, singer-songwriter and TV host, and so much more. Look at you ladies, black, pretty pink and be twinkly. Welcome. It's
Thank
so
you.
lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We're thrilled to be here.
Yeah, tiaras and all.
Absolutely, I've got tiara envy. I was only
Absolutely.
saying a few weeks ago. I was
You know
saying
what's
I
going to
want a
happen now.
tiara.
Every week from now on, I'm going to,
I am.
Helena will be on. Where's my tiara? Where's my
I
tiara?
have actually been looking for a tiara, so
I know.
in the next few weeks.
Oh.
And
Well,
they're
this
just
is a
amazing,
quick
aren't they?
plug to Trina Tarantino. That's, who
That's
made this
Little
one.
Kitty.
Yeah,
Yes.
Hello Kitty.
Ah,
Yeah.
lovely Hello Kitty.
So they are delightful. So let's start at the very beginning, I think, with Jacalyn first. What gave you the idea of starting USA Global TV in the first place? What on earth brought you from sanity
Was it sanity though?
to where we all are now in this media mayhem that we're all facing?
Well, what brought me to USA Global TV and Radio was actually the two of you. Because prior to that, it was rapping with Dr. Jacalyn.
I remember it. It was good fun.
But what sort of envisaged you in the first place to actually start working in media?
I received a cold call from a radio station in New York, and they said they wanted to interview me. So I did the interview, and then they called and they offered me a slot. And I said, okay, I'll take it. And it was Fridays at 5 o'clock, and it was The Drive live at 5, rapping with Dr. Jacalyn.
It was a 5 o'clock one.
And at the same time, I was doing a TV show for a local station in New Jersey, and it was also called Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn.
Okay.
And was there anything though, maybe in your past, like a memory or something that brought you here as well?
I always wanted to be a lounge singer. Seriously, I did. I always wanted to be like Michelle Pfeiffer in the Baker Boys with that dress lying on the piano. So that's how I really... But then I went to see a friend who's also a psychic medium, and she said I was going to be on the red carpet one day. So I haven't been on the red carpet yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, you've got loads of time for that.
And Madalene, obviously you've had a very great career, starting when you were 18 with Steps, I think, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
how did that happen?
Well, there was a paper at that time, Ian, called Stage and Television Today. I don't know whether it's still...
I think it is.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was advertising for boys and girls, well, boys and girls, that's what it said, that like to do line dancing and that doing a pop group.
So I went along to, where was it, in Gants Hill, near there. And then we had to do some line dancing, and then we had to do some, which I was terrible. Oh my gosh, I was terrible. There was the lasso, things like that, and I just couldn't get it. But everyone else did. I mean, Ruth really got it. And so what happened was, I went there, and what we had to do is we had to do a dance, we had to sing, and then we were called back the next day by Tim Burns, who was the producer of Top of the Pops at the time, which he's got a company called Blood Management. I'm not going to say any more after that. We got picked in that way. Then we got called back, and then the next time was 6 months intensive rehearsing twice a week, and going to the gym, basically going to the gym, going to the sunbeds, and also rehearsing who we had to be. Now at the time there was the Spice Girls, so Tim was fascinated with the Spice Girls and all this, so he goes, okay, you're going to be Oriental Spice. I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, you're going to represent Japan. And I'm thinking, I'm a girl from Bradford. How the heck am I going to represent a girl from Japan? Oh, you just don't have to speak. You can just sing. I went, okay, so I've got to be the silent one. So it was very manufactured. And we were every day going to Kensington Olympia, doing the showcases. And it was so exhausting. And then Tim Burns said, well, I know you don't live together, but you're going to have to party together. That's another story. I'm not going to leave it on here. But so it was an experience, and we had to lip sync. And for the life of me, I just can't lip sync. I need to be live. And I just couldn't. And I missed my cue when we did a show at Fairfield Hall for Captain Luke Picard. And I was down in the Brandies, and the music went on. Everyone else had turned round to face the audience. I had my back to the audience, still singing. Oh my gosh. And I knew I can't be part of this. I can't be part, because to play someone from Japan when I'm not from Japan, and then to fool the record labels when they were coming along, we were doing our showcases to get a deal. I just thought, no, I can't do this.
So completely manufactured.
Very much so.
So you had no say whatsoever?
No.
Right, okay.
So that for me was close the book, I'm not doing it. But then there was 3 of us that left that day. Poor Tim Burns. Oh my gosh, I think an earthquake happened or something. And he was like, but the next day he phoned me and says, listen, I'll need you for the Oriental market. I mean, how? I mean, that's a wrong statement, right? But it was okay and acceptable at that time. I mean, this was in the 90s, so that's my story.
Goodness.
Steps. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know with Madalene you went on, you had some really fabulous hits, I have to say. But just back to Jacalyn as well. Because I love the fact that you have your courses that you run alongside your programming. And I'm just, if you can share a little bit about it, that would be great.
Absolutely, thank you for asking. So our television network now is based on elevated listening. So we don't use any scripts. And so everyone's been trained by taking our courses, setting boundaries, asking permission. It also based on this book, Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening. Okay. So why I really started doing it was because I felt like for so long, having ulcerative colitis, that no one was ever really listening to me. They were always giving me solutions I didn't ask for. And so I thought, why not create a platform and trademark it, elevated listening, write books for children and for adults. And so that's how the whole thing came apart. It came up to, what's the word? Fruition.
Fruition.
Yeah.
To fruition. And so now I've taught courses in London and in Greece, and we had courses in Zambia and in the States, and so I'm excited to see where it goes from here, but it's all elevated listening.
That's interesting. So your Crohn's and colitis sort of informed this whole stance.
And that's how the first television and radio show I did, it was all based on stories of overcoming adversity. And I wanted the people from the Crohn's Colitis Foundation, I was running a support group at the time and a volunteer and on the board, and so I wanted patients to have a place where they could share their story. And so the TV show, Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, and the radio show, they were booked for a year. And so then more shows and more shows. But it was all based on giving people a place to share, because I felt like no one listened to me, and so no one was listening to them.
Now, a question that always, because Helen and I know things can go wrong, and especially on television as well, you know, things can go dramatically wrong. Do you ever, and I always remember that at one stage when we were doing a show together, you were stood up all the time, you know, because it was the only way that the cameras or whatever was working as well. So do you ever, you know, are there moments where you think, oh goodness, something's going to happen now, and how do I get out of it? So are you panic, stress less nowadays because you've done it for, and you're doing, how many shows a month now are you doing, or how many a week?
So we have 63 shows now, and we're just bringing on 2 more people. I personally do 5 shows, and I started one every night, except since I've come to London, I haven't done it, but it's called Let's Finally Talk with Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. So I picked 8 p.m. at night because I don't want to do it then, so I thought, why not stretch myself? But I'm basically giving people on the Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck channels an opportunity to hear from me, because I thought I have channels in my name and they're not hearing from me. So I'm not stressed like I used to be. There are a lot of things that do go wrong, and now I just feel like this is authentic. But one time I knocked my computer off while I was broadcasting, and it was like upside down. I was like, so sorry about that.
What drives you? What drives you as a person?
I feel like I'm in the best chapter of my life, and it's interesting because I spend most of my time alone working because I don't feel like it's work. Sometimes I can't stop working. If it weren't for the fact that I was leaving home to go work out, I would just work until I stopped, until I went to sleep. But I feel like by putting all these different opportunities together, retreats, books, courses, speaking, TV shows, that we're giving people collectively as a team a place to share their voice where they feel safe. So I'm going to keep going until I can't breathe anymore. This is why I'm here.
That's why you've grown so much.
Yes.
Is in your channel, because you're always working. And
I'm always
just
working.
Got such drive, so we commend you completely.
Thank you.
Maddie as well. I know that you're a TV host. And you do quite a bit, but I just going back a little bit, you had great success with, I mean, you're a creative heart, spirit, everything about you. With Follow Love.
Right, yes. This was back in 2013, and I was living in Malta and just perfecting my craft. I had to come away from the industry because it really did hurt me, and I felt, no, this is not the right time. So I went to Malta and started to sing again, and then I sent my CD, because sometimes you can do that, to a production company, and they liked my voice, and they said, oh yeah, we'd like you to come along to the UK. They didn't pay for it, by the way, they didn't. So I had to get an investor, which was Rocco, my soulmate. Well, my soul brother, it's my soul brother. And he had to put 15k down. Gosh. Because at that time, when you needed a song to do well, you need your pluggers. So you also have to pay for the whole recording session and that. So because of that, really, and I'm being honest with you, you've got to have a good song. The song's got to be really good in the first place, but it is about marketing. At the end of the day, it's a blooming marketing machine. It is. Had that marketing not been put in there, I would be just like all the others. Honestly, it's really sad, really, don't you think?
It is, because there's so many talented people.
There's so many talented people. So I reached number 7, but in saying that, I had to push it, and they had to push it. I had to do, So it was wonderful. But then the production company fell out, the management fell out, and I was tossed aside, basically. So where I was number 7, and I could have gone even further, the heart of the management just thought, no, that's it. We're not carrying on anymore. So I had to suffer for that.
Yeah.
It's such a cold business, you know.
I love the music video that you have.
Oh,
So
that's
good.
the best thing,
It's so
actually,
good.
Jacalyn. Yeah, that is the best thing. I was able to get a few of my students, a couple of beautiful refugees, children, and I really had a problem with trying to get them into the video with the government at the time, and eventually they let me. And Derek Hanlon, who works on Red Carpet, he came over and did the video. So that was lovely, and I just got people that were my friends, a couple and an older couple, and it's just about follow love in every, you know, no matter what age, it's just about following love, protecting yourself and just saying, that's it, I'm going to follow love because I've tried the other way, it's not working, so just follow love.
It doesn't date, does it?
It doesn't date, no, follow
May I
love.
share something about Madalene as a TV show host? So Madalene is on Talking Heads, which is our top tier programming, and she's been doing it, I don't know, 3 years?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. And she's
3.5.
also the host of the film and music show, and I have watched her blossom. It's amazing. But what I love the most about Talking Heads, we like to have the titles of the shows in advance, and so she'll tell me, and that her guides were going to tell her whatever. So she'll send in this title, and I'm like, okay, I have no idea where this is going to go. So she starts, and she's clearing the air.
Yeah.
And she starts talking, and I'm producing. I'm thinking, I hope it's going somewhere because I don't know where it's going. And all of a sudden, she pulls it all together, and there's no script. She's like, wait, they're talking to me. I'm like, oh, so, it's amazing. It's amazing. And she's always one of the top 10 show hosts.
Well, it was Jacalyn that trained me, because even though I was a singer, I always dreamed, Ian, to be on a presenter. I really did. I watched you guys. I watched you, Ian. I watched, and I really felt I wanted to be a presenter, and I didn't think I was going to be it because I was told, no, you're a singer and that's it, period. So Jacalyn, I went on there as a co-host, and she says, you'd be good to train as a TV. I went, oh, it's my dream. So I had to train. I had to go on the courses of the interviewer, which you went on there as well. Ian, you were the main,
They were both on.
They
They were both on there.
Madalene, we've had a whole day today with Madalene just completely ignoring me.
I'm sorry, Helena.
I was there right
You
from
were
the
there,
beginning.
and Simon,
Oh
and
my
Al.
God.
I actually
Please forgive
invited
me.
you on, and we
You
briefed
did.
you,
You
and we
did.
went through. Yeah, that was me.
Can I diffuse this? Can I diffuse this?
Oh, Helena, I'm so
hilarious.
sorry.
I was
Don't
going
worry,
to
it's
ask Jacalyn a question, and it's quite apt now because my next question was going to be, what type of people are you seeking
Are you watching?
to become presenters on shows? What are you looking for?
So I'm so glad that you asked that. And by the way, we have no script today, right? This is totally authentic. So our
it shows, folks.
our goal is to grow to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we now have a show in German. It's called, please forgive me if I say it wrong, it's called Die Mutmacher Show. And then we have a show in French, which is La Voix de la Garçon. And so we're looking for other languages so that we can run all the time. It's amazing. So we have people who are now sales agents. We have 19. Hello, folks, if you're out there, what are you doing? Because
Well, this is when the desperation says, keep selling, keep selling.
selling. But so we're looking for people who have experience, or if they're not experienced, they're coachable. Okay, they're open to coaching, and if they want to actually help other people. It's about helping others.
Do you have subjects that you haven't really covered yet, that you'd like to cover?
I'd love to have a cooking show. Simon McDonald, are you out there? We're waiting for you.
It would be nice to have pets.
We used to have we used to have a show on pets. We need a show on pets.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be
And then I'd also like to have something in the sports world, so we're working on that. We also now have a show that's with live coaching. So you come on and you get your challenge, whatever it is, it gets solved. So we're open to different ideas, as long as it's positive and it's filled with hope and inspiration. No politics.
Yeah.
We did do the global politics. It was you and Dr. Shine kept it. You kept it above board.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's-
obviously, I mean, sorry, it connects in quite well, because obviously at the moment, you know, and I was just saying to Helena that CNN called me yesterday and were asking what did I think about President Trump suing the BBC in London, you know, for $1 billion. And that was quite a shock. Well, I knew he was doing it, but it was quite a shock to be called by CNN. So when it comes to things like politics, is there somewhere where it's a middle ground that you can actually sort of allow politics in, or is it really sort of something that I think sometimes politics can get so heated that it steps over the line of being positive and becomes antagonistic? What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I mean, as a business owner, I'm definitely open to hearing pitches, what they're thinking. I just want to stay away from what's going on in the U.S. where there's so much anger, and I'm also a peace ambassador, so I know that you're familiar with, we want to help people find peace, right? How to deal with conflict, resolve conflict. So if politics is something that's really enticing people to be angry, and I want it to be the opposite way. So I'm open to it, but I guess in a controlled environment with no script.
I think all the people that I've spoken to within the broadcast field tend to leave politics out. They park it, because there's some kind of fight that happens, isn't there?
And you know what's interesting about that, if I might? So I've written a book about judgment, and when it comes to politics, for example, if people were able to truly listen, right? If people were, you know, you feel one way, I feel another way, but I'm curious, I'd like to learn how you feel and what's behind that, without me thinking, oh, I can't wait till she stops talking so I can tell her this, that, and you know, that's what people do. They get so, but if you were actually interested to hear about a person from another party and how they feel and why they feel without getting emotional about it, then politics could be discussed. But you know, it took, what, 41 days for the government in the US to finally even talk about opening again without it being threatening and people, you know, resorting to behavior that you can't possibly be proud of.
You, with your elevating listening, you're the listening mentor, which is trademark, isn't it, as well? What would you say, in your experience, that people feel that it's something they want to learn, but actually it's not quite what they need to learn? I mean, is there like something that everyone should be taking from you? As in what you, I can't quite explain it.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's a great question, because what I've found typically is when I teach classes, I will ask people to either write down or volunteer on a scale of 1 to 10, how proficient of a listener are you? And it's usually 8, 9, 10. Then I'll say, what would your family or your loved ones, people you work with, what would they say? 2, 3, 4. And people will typically come to take a class because someone else they have a relationship with has a problem. They're the one with the problem. They're the one who's not listening. So they want to come and get some ammunition that they can say, I went to a class and I learned, by the way, that you are judgmental. And what they find out is that they are the ones with the problem. People are crying. One married couple the woman decided to break up after the 4-hour session. She said, you know what, I've been keeping this all to myself, but you're so judgmental and I don't want to be with you anymore.
Were you shocked?
So if people were open to the fact that there is room to grow, just like with me, I mean, I'm constantly looking to others who are, you know, Mel Robbins, I love her. I don't know her, but I love her, and I'm following what she's doing. And she wrote that book called The Let Them Theory. And so now I'm trying to bring that in with elevated listening, that if someone's not listening to you, let them. Right? Mel Robbins,
Yeah,
let them.
absolutely.
And instead of taking it on with yourself and getting yourself all emotional, how are you reacting? And what can you do to find a solution to issues as opposed to being part of the fire, making the storm go bigger and bigger?
Okay. Why do Americans find the royal family so amazing? I mean, it keeps us in a job. Don't get us.
don't all, but,
don't get me wrong. But it's like I mean, recently with Andrew, I think Helen and I, between us, I think we've done about 15 to 20 conversations on Fox alone. In, our American company.
I don't think like it is the right word when you're doing interviews on Prince Andrew.
Well,
sorry,
it's.
Prince
I just
Andrew.
wonder, that I think there's a different perception of the royal family in America, and I just wonder what that perception is.
I think it depends who you ask, but I think the fact that Madalene and I are both wearing tiaras.
Well, I didn't want to state the obvious, madam.
There's some kind of fascination about being royal, about royalty, and about living that kind of life and all that comes with it. It seems, and obviously we know with Andrew and maybe Harry and who knows, that it's not always glamorous. Nothing is always glamorous. But there is something to think about. What if you rode in the carriage and you had on the tiara and you had the scepter and you held these galas, and I don't know, I think it goes back to history. Like for me, I've always been fascinated with Cleopatra. What a strong, dominant woman she was and how she commanded attention. And there's just something like that with the royal family that I think people are just enamored with. I'm not saying everyone, obviously, but I think there's a lot of respect.
Mm.
So maybe I'm a little bit wrong. So do you think if people have been a bit naughty, let's just say Harry and maybe Andrew, we can put in that, do you think they do well in America? Because people are intrigued and possibly they want to hear their story.
Well, I think
I'm
some
curious.
people love drama, definitely. And people like scandals, right? They like to hear about scandals and, let's talk about it at dinner or something. But I think when you think of the rest of the royals, they command respect, and there's something to be said about that. I'd rather be siding with them.
It's only because we're trying to find a new home for Andrew at the moment. So perhaps Salt Lake City or somewhere, Utah, somewhere in the. Because I think he's looking for somewhere as well.
What about California with Harry?
Yeah, California
Possibly,
and
but I think he
Meghan.
may want to stay away from the States. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was, sorry, I thought it was about the Americans loved the English language, the Queen's English.
Yeah, I think
They're-
there is
That's
that.
true.
Yeah, they've been.
I love how you all speak. I really do.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The Queen's language, not my intellect, but the Queen's language.
Yeah. No.
But I think, as I say, I've always adored America. I've been over quite a bit there, and in my lifetime, I've really enjoyed it. And I always, there's a sort of saying that what happens in America today happens in Britain tomorrow. So we seem to be very much sort of following trends all the time. With what's going on, there as well. So just coming back to your global domination.
I love that.
Where else do you want to dominate? Where what other countries do you fancy sort of having a show with? Is there anything in particular Americans? I don't know, it might be Japan or whatever. Is there sort of sexy countries for the Americans to actually?
Well, I think there's always been some kind of intrigue with Bali,
Oh,
right? Bali, the Maldives.
Okay.
okay.
I was thinking Egypt, but I don't know. What's the other one that I was thinking?
Malta.
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 Malta's. And in fact, I'm going to Greece when I leave here, and I'm looking at possibly residing there for a certain amount of time each year.
Amazing.
So
Okay.
You definitely have the weather. That's lovely. So you're travelling to all the places that you're opening up in.
That's, yes,
exciting.
exactly.
Isn't it?
Thank you.
Tell everybody how they can connect with you, how they can, people that have got, I don't know, a brand, a media brand or whatever, how they can work with you and it can promote themselves.
Well, thank you. First of all, I'd like to say we have an amazing team.
Yeah.
We're really a family, so everyone's connected with each other. So if you want to be part of our family, we just earned the YouTube Silver Creator Award for 100,000 subscribers in April. We're at 107,000 now. And that's USA Global TV and Radio. And we also have our second channel, which is Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. We've got just under 37,000 there. We're on Amazon Fire, we have distributors. But so the best way is to contact us through our website, which is usaglobaltv.com. You can email me directly at Dr. Jacalyn, that's JACALYN, at usaglobaltv.com. But most of all, please subscribe to our channels, USA Global TV.
Guys, this is it.
This is that pleading look on your face.
I'm walking around now handing out business cards. You have your phone? Okay.
That's the mic drop.
Because I want to go to 1 million subscribers.
I think, though, in the way that I think the next thing for you, Dr. Jacalyn, because I've known you for a while now, would be to get something like a Ivor Novello Award or something for the elevated listening, because this world requires elevated listening. Because maybe then our politicians or discussions in certain rooms, they would actually hear what they're actually saying instead of being egotistical and bringing out their point, you know.
Yeah, it's a good point. I just have one thing to say about that, because I know we're all interested in peace, and I'm going through my 3rd round of peace training. What I think is so interesting about it is the people are over talking each other in peace ambassador training. People are like trying to one up, and it's like, oh, like you see someone saying something and the hand goes up.
Yep.
You're not listening anymore. So we have to really take it upon ourselves, each and every one of us, that we want to find inner peace. And so inner peace means not competing for the floor.
Yeah. I mean, I did recently an event that we're all going to tonight.
We are.
And I was asked to speak about peace. And so I thought what I would do, because I'm now of the new generation, so I use AI, and so I put a question on AI saying, how do you create peace? And I was waiting for the reply, and this reply came back saying, why do you want to know? What
was that, ChatGPT?
Are you sure that was AI?
This is true. Why do you want to know? So there was this conversation going on for several minutes, but I thought, I almost ended up by saying, do you know who I am? But finally the reply came through, and it was one word: communication.
Communication, yeah.
Communication.
Absolutely.
So basically, using communication, trying to do what you're doing now, and in a very well done way, that you're actually sort of creating what you're creating. It's true, because the more people communicate with each other, I look at all the different countries that, obviously China now is being seen as the big bad wolf. When I was growing up, Russia was, and yet when I went to Russia, the Russian people were amazing. They were absolutely amazing, and so I think, and I take on point the politicians. What my theory is that people do not make wars. People just want to live at peace. They just want to survive their everyday lives, and I think it's politicians or politics that seems to get in the way of all of it. So
communication is the biggest thing, but obviously the creativity and the global collaboration is big in it.
Well, you know, something I like to share is I know when I was working at another television station and I had the radio show, I was told you can only do one or the other, right? Because we can't have you if you're doing that. And here at USA Global TV and Radio, I want everyone to do whatever it is they want to do because I want people to feel supported and I want them to feel heard. And I feel like, to your point about China or Russia or wherever we go, before we put on a hat or we're given labels, we as humans want to feel value. We want to feel heard and we want to feel safe.
Yeah.
And so if we're all open to just, you know, as you always say, the collective humanity, just looking at people for people and saying, you know what, she doesn't look the same as I do. He doesn't look the same as I do. She doesn't look, I want to get to know this person, like being curious about it instead of putting a label on it.
Yeah, beautiful.
So to me, communication, but the other word is tolerance, I think is huge. Because you find that when there's fights, even if it's with family or whatever, it could be something small or huge, it's intolerance. Because people aren't quite understanding what's going on. And
They lose their patience. I compare it to this, and I've never been on a reality TV show as of yet, but you know, Survivor and all these shows, somebody always has to start the fire, and they get this flint in their, you know, the kindling, and in order to make that fire grow, you have to give it oxygen, right? You have to blow on it or do whatever, and it's the same thing in communication. If you're having discourse with someone, and you keep going, like they say what they say, and then you say, it's the fire keeps getting bigger and bigger. But if you take a 6-second pause and you just stop, you choose not to engage, the person will stop talking at some point because they realize they're talking to a wall. And so what I do is I just sit like this. I understand. Thank you for sharing that. I choose not to engage. Sometimes you just get up and leave. I've heard you though. You acknowledge, I've heard what you have to say, and I thank you for sharing. I choose not to engage. Instead of, well, you know, because the ego comes in. It's about winning. It's about who's right. And meanwhile, the relationship suffers, and you may say things that will never be forgiven. They'll always be in the back of the mind. You said that. Which, by the way, I know this is unscripted, but I have my newest book, Holy But Harmful, and I just want to point it out for 1 minute because I have 100 statements in here that people make all the time that are filled with judgment. May I just read a few of them?
Yeah.
Okay. You look really good for your age. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I take
Some
that on
people-
board.
some
I-
people
I-
wouldn't.
I embrace it. I go, ooh, that's nice.
I love the way you changed that perspective.
Yeah.
Because most people would say, why can't I just look good regardless of my age?
And let's be honest, you know, what am I, 74 now? It's got nothing to do with age, you know?
Exactly.
In life at all.
You want to be seen as a person. So here's another one. Oh, he's a stay-at-home father. He must be lazy.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Here's one that I heard all the time growing up. You think you had it hard? If you had to live the life that your mother and I did to get you where you are.
Yeah.
Or this is my favorite. In a marriage situation or partners, you wouldn't be anything without me.
Oh, God.
I made
I
you
feel
who
ill.
you are.
I feel
That's
ill.
abuse.
That's
actually.
abuse. That's
But people say these things all the time. Or you bring up something from 10 years ago. You know what, Ian, 10 years ago you said this, and what is who cares? It was 10 years ago. Let it go. So my advice to anyone who's interested in really finding inner peace is looking at yourself, and are you part of the peace process, or are you part of the ego process? Because it comes from a place of fear or a place of love. Fear, maybe you're holding so tightly onto the relationship that you don't want to let go of it, so you either are the one who's stirring the pot, or you're the one who's the victim. And from a place of love, it goes back to Mel Robbins. I'm hoping I'm getting some kind of compensation eventually. But when she says, let them, right? Let people do what they want to do. So if you're engaging in a conversation that's not going, it doesn't sit well, you can say to yourself, okay, I choose right now to be an elevated listener. I'm going to listen with curiosity and an open heart, as opposed to fear, which maybe they're right. You're thinking, maybe they're right. And then you're angry because you don't want that to be the case. So I'm off my soapbox, thank you.
Just quickly, your thoughts on empathy?
Empathy is, do you want to go?
Empathy in a negative stance is when you are being empathizing, but you're doing it in a not from a true intention. You're doing it so that you get a result. And then there's empathy that is absolutely on that vibration, actually listening, actually being fully present with that person, listening and fully engaged and reciprocating the energy. So that's true empathy. That's what my...
Okay, I'm just interested because empathy comes in different, people have it in different, some people are really empathetic, others not so much. Is it something you can learn, when it comes to listening? I'm interested in your viewpoint.
I definitely agree. I think it also has to come into play is setting boundaries, because we can be compassionate, we can be empathetic, and at the same time we could be harming ourselves because we're giving our entire heart and soul, and maybe the person didn't ask for it because we didn't ask for permission. So I'll give you an example. Today we went through various tube stations, and there was a woman on the ground with cards and whatnot, and people might judge that person, or another person might have so much empathy and compassion, they might go and ask the person to move in with them. And they didn't set a boundary, for example, like, hey, we're going to have you move in for a month, but in the meantime you have to do this, this, and this. And now their life situation changes. So I think that by asking permission, would you be open to me helping you? How would you feel if I did this? Would it be significant if so you ask the question, and then that validates the person instead of seeing someone who's in need. And you've seen people, maybe they're in a wheelchair or they're having a hard time, walking, and all of a sudden you just go ahead and start pushing the wheel. Did you ask permission? You have to say, how would you feel if? Are you open to this? And when someone says yes, then that empathy comes with grace.
Good call.
Just quickly moving on to books. Lots of books.
So many books.
Oh, so many books. So books and expertise, because I know that also, I think Madalene, you both wrote a book together as well. Was this
We
to do
did.
with
We've written a few books together.
Yeah, the one that we really did work and focus on that one, it was Creative Hearts Awakened. Creative Hearts Awakened. And we wanted to help people that have their own brand out there, or people that have a story to tell through their creativity. So where they healed in a certain area through their love of their passion of their creativity. So how many people?
20 something.
20, yeah. And it was. Also Red
O'Loughlin, one of our team members.
Yes. Credit to Red.
He's a great book coach and publisher. So and then we also did the Lady Ella.
Oh, we did the Lady Ella. I played a character, Crystal, the butterfly teacher, teaching the animals how to sing and all this. So that was at the what's the school? Oh,
School of Joy.
School of Joy. That's it.
And
School
Helena,
of
you
Joy.
were in which book were you in? The Balboa Tree.
I was.
Yeah, you were. So the series of books, there's 9, and it's the amazing adventures of Lady Ella, the listening mentor, and Ella is my great niece. Well, she now has a brother, so now I wrote a new book called The Kindness Adventures of Lady Ella and Lord Jack, because Jack is my... But before that, the other 8 books, all the characters in there represent real people who've taken my courses, Elevated Listening. So they would get to pick their character and name the character, and then that character is part of teaching children how to listen.
we're almost out of time. So finally, are you both pleased with the careers you've chosen?
Yes. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's evolving. It's going to the next level. But yes, at this present day and time and the now moment, yeah, absolutely.
What's next? What do you both aspire to create or do, or what do you see in the future?
I'm at the best place in my life I've ever been. And when I started out, you'll remember this. What did I say I wanted to do?
Oh, give every gift as many people as she can a car.
Like Oprah Winfrey
Oh,
when she
oh,
said, you get a car,
yeah.
you get a car, you get a car.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
So to touch as
we're
many
gonna get a
lives
car.
as I can. And when I first started out, I had a vision board with elevated listening, and I had 100 little desks. And now we've got, I think, 350 elevated listeners. So it's basically to go to as many countries as I can and shake the hands of the people who have believed in me from the very beginning. I've been doing that. And then to grow our markets in as many places and have everyone on our team meet everyone else and do their own collaborations.
It's a beautiful community. I call it the mothership. I really do. And the way that, what I love about it, about the mothership, is that you can bring, where you had to pay major television stations to get an ad, you know, it's not even that price. Plus, it's about, you get heard, and you get the socials through it. So, it's, you know, it's great in that way. And for people that have got a brand but want social media, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah,
Awareness.
I've been doing, I
Awareness,
do press
yeah.
releases
Press
now,
releases, yeah.
and also commercials. So I've gotten a lot more into the back end of the business, which is, this is why I'm working day and night. Like I'm like, oh, I'm going to do the commercial.
You're a super woman. Super.
Well, I couldn't have done it without any of the three people sitting here today, and all the people on our team who are not here today. I want to thank all of you because it is a family.
Yeah.
Bless you, bless you.
Oh, thank you
Time
so
has caught
much.
up with us. So
Yes.
It's been
Dr.
lovely. There's so much more, and I know as well, with Madalene
Part
too.
two.
But I just think I think it's amazing how people can just amplify their message via broadcast. In really whatever field you are, you're given this platform, and I think that's really special.
Well, I want to say to the two of you that what you're doing and what you've done, you were on the other side of the world, okay, and reached out to me. And now look at the collaborations. Like if you think of all the people that you've interviewed or that we've interviewed and all the people that it just keeps going and going. I'm going to Greece to be with Deborah Wooten as a result of Philip.
Yeah,
May rest in peace.
Philip Chan.
It's all, it's all connected. And this is my third trip to Europe this year alone.
Which is good.
It's
and
just
you're
amazing.
more than welcome to come. Anyway,
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
have to wrap
Great.
up.
I think I have a
Thank
feeling
you.
that Dr. Jacalyn and also Dr. Madalene Chan, I think you're going to be back.
Yes.
Because I think we have to continue the conversation.
Love to.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the time.
I would like to definitely continue the conversation between doctor and the doctors that, for example, Jacalyn, she studied doctor 7 years, like veterans, and then vet surgeons, doctors, and then you get the people that buy their titles.
Okay.
We'll be
That's
back.
interesting, isn't it? Part two.
Thank you. So, thank you for your great wisdom today. So that was a great show.
That was,
It was
really,
wonderful.
it was inspiring. It's, I feel good.
I think it's been one of these shows that everybody that really sort of shows how television works, how the entertainment industry works, the good and the hard times as well, that we all go through to actually create something. And I think, how important it is nowadays to communicate.
It's the biggest thing, isn't it? Communicate and collaborate.
Communicate and collaborate with peace.
With peace.
With peace as well.
Have a thought I want to ask next time. But
Okay.
isn't it great just to be able to sit and chat? I think that's worth
Absolutely right. So,
Until
as
next week.
always, I'd just like to thank the people who have really helped us with this entire show. So, can I thank Helena Castrati from ALB UK TV? Can I thank our guest this afternoon, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck from USA Global TV and Radio? Can I thank Londres TV that is really putting us out to 3 million viewers across some of the other areas of the world, especially South America? And can we thank our latest channel as well, Amaze TV in Africa? So gradually we are spreading as well. So for me, Ian Pelham Turner.
And from me, Helena Chard, thank you and see you next week.
Take care.